What's up, fam of Liberty, and everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some mystifying reason? It's your new best friend, Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim, founder of the Sons of Liberty, and my cat Mikey. If you're new to this channel, then let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck Elon Musk, fuck GOP politicians, and fuck the billionaire bourgeoisie class. This channel and its comment sections are not a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Wish.com convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, fascist oligarch, and failed insurrectionist. Oh, and a wannabe authoritarian tyrant. Now you know where I stand on things, because I know you see the beard and the shirt and the clickbait title, and you're like, this MAGA motherfucker. So if you're still here, then consider following this channel after you watch my video. Today, we're going to talk briefly about Project 2025, that thing that Trump voters said wasn't real, that it was debunked, that Trump would never use because you believe everything the liar says. So we're also going to talk about Agenda 47, which was kind of like Project 2025's little baby brother, but the one that got dropped on his head a lot and ate a lot of lead paint chips. So I've done maybe 8 of these videos since late June of this year, talking about these subjects and their various impacts on aspects of American life. In those videos, I conclusively established concrete proof that the existence of Project 2025 was real. It's a conservative playbook for turning the country into full-fledged oligarch-run autocracy.
But Sarge, what does full-fledged oligarch-run autocracy mean?
So basically, it's a bunch of wealthy elite billionaires forcing you to do whatever the hell they want. It's essentially modern feudalism. And let's be clear here. Even if you voted for Trump, unless you've got a lot of money, you're not going to be a baron or a duke of Earl. You won't even be a knight. You are the peasant in that scenario. So most of y'all know, if you've been following this channel or the Sons of Liberty on other social media, that I'm a veteran. If you couldn't somehow figure this out by my appearance or the shirt or the channel content or the fact that I introduced myself as Big Sarge, then now you know. So one of my big concerns is veteran stuff and the military. Agenda 47 promises to purge the military of woke left-wing Democrats. And I know some of the MAGA cultists out there are practically jacking off to the idea, but let's talk about why that's a supremely dumb idea. The military recognizes the president as its commander-in-chief and will therefore follow orders. But do you really want a military of 100% conservatives? If you need me to explain why having a military that is supremely loyal only to the president, then you're exactly why we don't need that to happen. Look at countries that underwent a military coup. They didn't do too well. And be honest, it's hypocritical to be pro-military but then be excited about purging the military. It's a bad reflection on your moral values. Purging the military of transgender service members is also a dumb fucking idea. Nobody gives a fuck what sexual organs a soldier has except people who are trying to fuck. And that's a very simple equation. Hello, person who I find to be attractive. Would you like to have sex? No, thank you. Or, yes, we can have sex because I'm horny and or find you attractive too. And then one of these people might need to say, but you should know, person who wants to bone, I don't have the sexual battle rattle that you might think I have. I think y'all are basically intelligent enough to know how to proceed from there. If you don't, you might be one of those creepy my body, your choice rapists. Anyway, the only people who have a stick up their ass about transgender people in the military uniform are weirdos who fetishize the obsession with needing to know what package someone is sporting. And it's an awful lot of y'all keyboard commandos and internet rambos out there worried about who's actively serving this country when less than half of 1% of the entire population of this country has served in the military. In other words, transgender troops still served or are serving their country. Meanwhile, a bunch of y'all lazy ass motherfuckers couldn't serve or wouldn't serve. I love the hypocrisy of some asshole running his goddamn mouth and then being like, well, I never had the privilege to serve. Motherfucker, yes you did. You have that overwhelming privilege to choose to serve, courtesy of the transgender people defending this country alongside the gay people and the straight people who also serve or served. You chose not to serve. Whilst that transgender person said, sign me the fuck up, Big Sarge. Speaking of which, guess what? Donald Trump, the grifter-in-chief, went on record saying he doesn't care about the transgender people in the bathroom issue. That was a con that he sold you to get you to vote for him, which he only wanted so that he could avoid going to prison. So if this dude actually does purge the military of 15,000 transgender service members, I'd be surprised. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised because he's kind of getting dumb ideas from the good idea fairy. You know what was also a dumb fucking idea? Trying to overtly get rid of all the gay people in the military. First of all, there have been queer folk serving in every military since dudes figured out they could fuck each other back in caveman times. Some of y'all homophobes out there have that Spartan helmet and their moaning labia slogan all over your truck windows or your t-shirts. Y'all out there ignoring the fact that Spartans used to fuck each other out in the field just so that they didn't have to jerk off alone. Y'all out there idolizing the Roman Empire ignoring the fact that some of its greatest emperors were gay. Trajan and Hadrian come to mind. Y'all are also ignoring that a whole lot of Roman men had no compunctions whatsoever about plowing another dude in the butthole and still considered themselves straight and manly. And I'm going to talk about this a bit more, but before I do, being a homophobe with a Spartan helmet and a moaning labia logo is almost as idiotic as dudes with Punisher decals all over their gear, their shirts, and their trucks. That's the same dudes out there making "murder is wrong" posts like, motherfucker, what? Some of y'all are saying that shit crying about people celebrating Luigi Mangione, the healthcare CEO assassin, the same people who cheer when someone rams a crowd of liberal protesters and practically shot big ropes of cum thinking about Kyle Rittenhouse bodying people. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe some of y'all hate gay people out of secret self-loathing. Explains why you fetishize Spartans and Romans. I know a whole lot of y'all conservative dudes that did serve in the military might be oblivious to this fact, but you served alongside gay people. The only difference between your service and my service is that you didn't know that they were gay. Probably because they were afraid of you being fucking weird about it. I served during the Don't Ask, Don't Tell era, and I had people who fought alongside me who were gay as fuck, and who, some of them let me know. You know what it affected? Exactly one thing. We couldn't make gay jokes. And honestly, why the fuck would you even? Punch up, not down, dummy. And not to put too fine a point on this subject, but I'm going to say a thing that only a few of you will understand. Your boy Big Sarge was safe enough that a couple of gay chicks don't have their gold star. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, I mentioned... Don't put that in. No, you know what? Fuck it. Leave it in. Anyway, I'm mentioning gay people in the military and how fucking stupid it is that we try to keep them from serving, because that's exactly what the transgender purge that's coming equates to. It's stupid. We already have a small military that struggles to recruit and retain troops. You want to get rid of qualified, trained, experienced troops and make us weaker? That's dumb as fuck. Now, let's move on to Project 2025's plans to get rid of the VA and cut veterans benefits. Want to know how I know that plan is real? Because not only has South African immigrant Elon Musk, aka Apartheid Andy, aka the richest deadbeat dad on the planet, and his lick-spittle, boot-licking toady Vivek Ramaswamy gone to Congress and said, this is what we're going to do. But they're already trying to push through into the public's consciousness to see how well that's going to go over. The Economist, a news journal, just published an article about 2 weeks ago written by an anonymous author decrying that we pay and compensate our veterans too much. It suggested that instead, we should cut back or stop altogether giving disability pay to veterans. You know, that pay that we're entitled to because we served our country and got blown up or shot up or fucking fell out of helicopters and shit. This article says that we're too entitled, that we're not recuperating or healing. Excuse the fuck out of me, Anonymous. How would you like our amputees to grow back their limbs that got blown off? You don't want to know what I bet? I bet that the anonymous author is either Elon Musk or probably someone else that he paid to do his dirty work, since the dude is lazy as fuck and profits off the work and ingenuity of other people. But I digress. You know where they want to invest that money that they're trying to save? Into rich people who they claim will create more jobs. Yeah, that trickle-down bullshit that only rubes believe. You know these billionaire motherfuckers are essentially useless, right? I've said this in a couple of other videos. There isn't a single one of them that can't be replaced by someone who's already doing that exact same thing for a fraction of the salary. Elon Musk went on a whole ass rant on Twitter about how CEOs are important, but you know why that's a lie? United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson lying dead on the sidewalk, and people literally stepped around his body to go upstairs to their board meeting and continue business as usual. They held that board meeting anyway. Dude was still lying on the ground outside. And then they started the process to replace him the next day. If the CEO of your company is so inconsequential as to the success of that company that he could be gunned down in the street and it has absolutely zero effect on your company whatsoever, then he doesn't need to be paid several hundred times as much as the average employee at that company. Pay him like 10 times as much and then use the extra money to pay people what they're worth, or do something good with it because you're saving them tens of millions of dollars. So if you don't pay people what they're worth, then at least try to better the country or the planet. But I'm down with paying employees what they're worth. By the way, 1/3 of the federal workforce consists of veterans, and a lot of them are not Trump supporters. So purging the government so that you can bring in your loyal Schedule F employees, that's a terrible idea because the government is already inefficient and cumbersome, except when it's billionaires getting bodied. So firing employees because of their politics and then trying to train a whole bunch of new and probably incompetent people is going to cause massive problems. That's aside from the ones that they're already deliberately trying to cause. So basically, Project 2025 plans to get rid of the VA, and all you veterans out there are going to lose your benefits 10 years after you got out. That's when you stop being eligible. There's an expiration date to your disability and to your medical care. After that, you get to join the rest of the civilians who have insurance with all these other companies that deny care and procedures so that their shareholders and executive management can make millions of dollars. That's what you voted for. You voted to cut the care and treatment and compensation for all the people that you thank for their service. But that's okay because the majority of the people in this country believe that healthcare is a human right and it should be provided by the federal government. And since every single veteran benefited from universal health care in the military free of charge, and a lot of you benefit from free health care through the VA, then you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever joining the growing resistance movement, which wants to abolish the healthcare industry and demand that our government provide the thing that the majority of us believe it should be providing. Now, I hear you asking, but Sarge, how do I join the Family of Liberty? How can I help? Normally, I start my obligatory disclaimers talking about the Sons of Liberty Discord server, but I'm going to modify my approach today. I've officially started a research team. It took me like 2 weeks to get around to getting it up and running for those of you who saw the notifications about 12-ish, 14-ish days ago, but it's officially stood up as of this past Friday, and I've already got people doing things. The research team operates on our Discord server and will be tackling all the things that Project 2025 said it was going to do, and we'll be looking at Republican efforts to start enacting those things. As an example, the aforementioned conversation about cutting veterans benefits so that they can give that money to rich people. Another one is Project 2025 promising to abolish the Department of Education, and that's a bill that's already being sponsored by a MAGA politician. So if you're down to help the Fam of Liberty tackle this subject, get on our Discord server, get your Fam of Liberty role, and then inquire how you can join our research team. The invite link to Discord is in the Throatpunch at the end of my videos. It's also in the YouTube video description and in the TikTok and YouTube channel descriptions. Since I got a couple of assholes in my comments this past week who were ass mad about the fact that Big Sarge hawks t-shirts, I'm going to talk about the store. I'm putting up a fuck Dennis t-shirt just for that one clown, and maybe a fuck Stave shirt too because fuck that guy also. I never said I wasn't petty. If you like the shirts or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store, which is listed in the link tree in our TikTok and YouTube channel descriptions. On YouTube, it's also in the video description. New merch goes up all the time, and this week I should be adding a couple of things if I can get around to it. I've been working on a vague idea for some woke-ass coffee and a video commercial for it, like with some heavy metal, some bearded dudes, some scantily clad hot chicks, some guns, maybe an explosion. Ooh, maybe an explosion caused by scantily clad chicks with guns. Besides the coffee, that would wake me the fuck up. Of course, that's also kind of what I dream about too, so I don't know. If you like our video content, then we'd appreciate it if you'd follow us on all of the other socials, whichever ones that you've got. The various socials that we have are listed in the Throatpunch at the end of our videos and in the link tree, which can be found on the channel description. On YouTube and TikTok, we'd also appreciate it if you'd subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. It's a little bit of a different process on TikTok, but if you're on TikTok, then you already know that. Also, fuck TikTok because that platform mutes and censors and deletes our content. The whole thing is glitched. Anytime I post a video, it automatically puts a content violation on it, so I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna upload like teasers and trailers saying I'm gonna talk about this and that, and then you can go watch it on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. You can help us extend our reach by sharing our video content on all of your socials. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in the comments section. I've explained a bit about the algorithm so often that I could do it in my sleep, and I probably do. That's probably why my wife's like fucking shoving me in the middle of the night. That or I'm snoring. So I'm not gonna talk about the 7 words in the algorithm. If you can't think of anything else to say, then the phrase, I made it to the end, Big Sarge, is 8 words. And if you're saying that shit right after I upload the video on like a 15-minute video and you're posting at 4 minutes inside of the video, I'm watching you. I see that shit. I will call you out on it because I don't have anything else to do besides troll the fucking comment sections. Actually, that's not true. I have other things that I could be doing, but for some reason that fucking makes me hard, so I probably shouldn't put that in there either, but I'm going to do it anyway. 2 claps and a Rick. Stop being weird about other people's genitalia, you fucking perverts. Woo! And now, guess what time it is?
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!